How's it going out there, everyone? This is W.F.S, your doctor here today. And today I want to talk to you about the original series of Star Trek. And a question that I have for all of you. When it comes to the original series of Star Trek, I have to ask, what was the first episode? And besides that question, do you have a particular episode that's your all-time favorite and the one you can't stand the most? I mean, honestly, Star Trek is a great series, but at the same time, it's not exactly perfect. It's got some great episodes and it got some bad ones. And I'm just curious about what your favorites are and which ones are your worst ones. But going back to the original question I asked you, what is the first episode from this classic series? Well, if you go to Paramount Plus, they're going to tell you the air dates of these episodes. And you can't count The Cage because it wasn't aired. It wasn't aired until I think it was the late 80s when it came out on VHS that people got to see the original pilot. So we can't count that. So according to Paramount, episode 2, which would technically be episode 1, The Man Trap, was the pilot episode for this series, followed by Charlie X, and then Where No Man Has Gone Before. The problem, for me at least, is a couple of things. Number one is if you follow the way the bridge and the ship is laid out between these three episodes, there is a problem with the ship design. It's almost like it went from good to bad. It's almost like it went backward in time as the show progressed through these three episodes. Let me show you what I'm talking about. And I know some of you out there already do know. When you look at the layout of the bridge in this first episode, The Man Trap, you can see it's basically the same thing that we would see throughout the bulk of the series. Now look at the episode Where No Man Has Gone Before, and you can see the color is different. Even the monitors in the back there are different. Heck, even Captain Kirk's command chair has a microphone sticking up from the chair rather than built into it. It's a clear demonstration, it's clear proof that this episode was done before The Man Trap, and it was. This was the original pilot. Where No Man Has Gone Before was supposed to be the original pilot, but from what I understand, there were production delays and other things such as script problems that prevented this thing from getting out. So The Man Trap, somehow that was done first, and this episode, Where No Man Has Gone Before, became the third episode in the series. Well, some of you out there may be asking yourself, what's the point of this? Why am I bringing this up? This is information that's already out there. Well, when I was a kid, I used to get to watch Star Trek. It aired from Tampa. And the way that they would run the show, Where No Man Has Gone Before would be the first episode. They would put the original pilot episode, Where No Man Has Gone Before, at the beginning of the lineup. Then it would follow with The Man Trap, Charlie X, and then The Naked Time. And that is the way, when I was growing up, that was the way that I knew the series to be in progression, how it would follow. And then, as time went on, I was told that The Man Trap was the pilot episode, and it's just, wow, something's really wrong here, because the whole set designs, the outfits, the way things work, it just didn't flow properly for the first 3 or 4 episodes, and then suddenly everything became uniformed. It was just an interesting way. It was just really, it was interesting to me. It's almost like all the broadcasting studios or the TV networks were given permission to air the shows any way they wanted to, instead of following the uniform in which they were originally aired. Man Trap aired September 8th of 1966, Charlie X was September 15th of 1966, and Where No Man Has Gone Before was September 22nd. And yet, as I said before, the station that I watched Star Trek from, they were airing the third episode first and then everything else. So I guess these stations got to choose how they aired these episodes. As for my favorite episodes, in the original series, that is such a hard choice to make right there. There are so many incredible episodes. A lot of them come from the first season as far as I am concerned. You cannot ignore the balance of terror. And honestly, that is one of my favorites, along with season 2, The Doomsday Machine, and Mirror Mirror. But for me, for some reason, I honestly love the Corbinite Maneuver. I honestly think that the Corbinite Maneuver is one of the better episodes to come from the entire series.
Spock's wasting time. Everybody else just sitting around. Somebody's got to do something.
Easy, Bailey.
What do they want from us? Let's find out what they want us to do.
They want us to lose our heads,
We've
Bailey,
only
now.
got 8 minutes left.
7 minutes and 41 seconds.
He's doing a countdown.
Practically.
Before I tell you my reasons why I think it's one of the better episodes, I just noticed something that I didn't before. Look at the uniforms. They're all wearing, at least the bulk of them, are all wearing the same color uniform. I never noticed this before. They're all, pretty much all of them, are wearing the exact same color uniform. I guess I'm so used to watching Star Trek The Next Generation and the various series that followed it, and how the suits represented the color or grade of the person in that uniform. Whereas in this particular series right here, at least in this episode, they're pretty much all wearing the same shirts. I guess the reason why I like the Corbinite Maneuvers so much is because it's mostly a psychological episode. You got Belloc and his alter ego tormenting the crew, really. He's overpowered their ship with that massive vessel of his, and he's just psychologically wearing them down. And it is just a mind game. And I honestly think that that is what made this thing so much fun to watch. Watching these people and their stress levels and the suspense. Why are we being held here? Why can't they let us go? Why won't they talk to us? Why, when they do talk to us, do they just want to kill us? They've read our files, they've seen our records, they know we're peaceful, and yet they think we're barbarians and we deserve to die. It is just an beautiful, well-written episode, and it just was performed so well. Again, the psychological aspect of the episode was just so much fun for me. I enjoyed the fact that this puppet was blurred out on the screen, and it was just presented in such a way that it was kind of terrifying. It was really a good story. Now, for me, Wolf in the Fold has to be one of the worst episodes in the series. Yes, Turnabout Intruder is not exactly the best one, but Wolf in the Fold for me really just bothers me on so many levels. It's an interesting concept, the idea of an ancient spirit or an alien entity traveling and possessing humanoid form and then taking on killer instincts. I mean, but the idea of Jack the Ripper, it kind of, this episode in some ways reminds me of Wes Craven's New Nightmare. The idea that an ancient spirit trapped within the pages of the Nightmare on Elm Street stories, and when the story gets too familiar or it dies out, the spirit can be released from the pages and can either move on or enter the real world, and in that case it decided to enter the world as Freddy Krueger. I know that a lot of you are going to give me some pushback on this one, but I did not think the idea of using Jack the Ripper was a good idea. But I'm not a writer of this show, and I know a lot of people liked it. It's just for some reason the whole concept behind this alien being Jack the Ripper, it didn't work for me, that's all. Well, I would love to hear what your favorite and least favorite episodes are, and at the same time, I would like to know what you think of the whole continuity issue that I brought up before, about where no man has gone before and the man trap. When you first were introduced to Star Trek, the original series, what were you introduced to as the pilot episode? Remember, you can't count the cage because the cage was never aired on television. So drop those comments below and let me know. Until the next time, my friends, God bless.